two staff members were doing a little more than just kissing.
Oh,
when I say a little, I mean a lot more than just kissing.
I'm sorry, man. I'm like, she's a boyfriend. Like, you don't have any shot at all.
They were trying to food poison us 100%. It was like you were eating lard, and it's like they took it from a dumpster and they just like here.
And they started hitting each other with nunchucks over that. At 10 o'clock at night, I saw the video.
My fingers started, gushing. Hello, my little food poisonings. Welcome back to another episode of WAG Podcast. I am Annabella.
I'm Scarlett.
And I'm Angelina.
And today we're jumping right into today's podcast of our worst camp stories.
Yes.
Because believe it or not, last week, me and Angelina were at a camp. Bella was at a camp.
All by myself.
We were at two different separate camps, and none of us have come together to share stories yet. Here we are.
I would like to start it off.
What are you doing, by the way? You're like this.
I am manspreading. I would like to start this off because I decided to go to a camp where I was a youth counselor leader. Basically, I was in charge of a whole bunch of these crazy kids who were like, 11? I'm pretty sure. They were like 11, okay? And oh boy, did stuff happen. Okay.
Take it off.
Okay, I get there. We're driving there. It was great. I got the Spotify. I got the front seat. I was very vocal this year. Usually I'm like really shy and quiet. This year I was like, can I have the front seat? Can I use your eyelash color?
I was using her words.
I was using my words this time. So I immediately, I will just, okay. Anyways.
Kick it off.
So we get there and automatically it's actually not a bad looking camp. We got like the best cabins. It was really nice. The AC was the coldest, crispiest AC ever.
That never happens at a camp.
That never happened
when
to
we
us,
first got there, we got a tour by a staff member, a little blondie. Keep her in mind. Okay. There's a lake, it's all nice, and there's no kids there yet, okay? It's literally just all the youth counselors. We got there a day early, okay? And we wanted to do all of the activities because, like, on the next day when the kids come, you're just watching them and you're being the counselor. Like, you're not gonna do the activities. So they were like, you guys can do it on the first day. So we did shooting, archery,
cool stuff.
Kayaking. Games.
Stop real quick. Fellas.
Sorry. And high ropes. Shooting was super fun. It was actually like we were using like the real thing right there. Oh, it was cool. The guns were so janky and so old and tiny. But anyways, archery literally bombed at that. I was amazing at that.
Killed it. Yeah,
low ropes thing was basically like more like team building, and I was so bad at genuinely the staff, I despised them. They were awful. They were like, you're so bad. Basically, you're on this log and you're supposed to balance on it. And I was wearing these janky Hoka shoes that are meant to propel you forward. And so on a log, there's no like grip. There's no grip. So you're getting propelled forward, and if you fall, you have to like do some stupid punishment. So I had to hurdle a staff member, sing Party of the USA and break dance because why not? And I fell, and the point is you're trying to get like around people without touching the floor. And the lady was like, you're genuinely so bad at this game. We're just gonna sit you out and you can watch everyone else do it.
Wow.
Okay, thanks. And then we did the high ropes course. That thing was built together by sticks and glue. It was so scary. I'm never scared of heights, but that one I was shivering. I almost cried. I'm never ever scared of high ropes courses. I love like the thrill seeking stuff. That was not one of them. Never gonna do that again.
Get to a good story here.
Okay, good story. Next morning, kids are supposed to come. Super excited. And you know what? I wake up early because I'm an early riser. Okay.
Can't even believe
And
this.
I go into the bathroom, this big, nice, spacious bathroom, and I have my little bag right there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling productive. So I went and I grabbed my dermo blade. If you don't know what a dermo blade is, it's like a little razor thingy. And it's meant to rather shave your face, clean up your eyebrows, something like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to clean up my eyebrows a little bit. And there was a cap on the dermo blade. And usually it's kind of difficult to get it off, so you got to use your thumb and you kind of just got to pull it off. The cap was halfly off when I was getting it off. I didn't realize that. So when I pulled it down.
Oh my gosh, that just like freaks me out.
So I pulled it down, and the second I realized, oh shoot, I just split open my thumb.
You dummy.
And the thing is that everyone was
Show the
asleep.
camera.
Okay, you're not gonna see it because this happened like a week ago.
But you can still see the outline.
But you can still see the outline. Now imagine this, but it was deep. It was deep enough to get stitches. And when I cut it, I knew, oh, this is deep. I didn't cry because I'm like super cool. But when I split it open,
it's like adrenaline. When I cut my finger, I was like, I may have just cut my finger.
Yeah.
I may need to go to the
I would have
hospital.
passed out.
So my finger started, gushing because that's just what happens. And, I didn't want to freak anybody out because it was all over the bathroom floor. So I grabbed toilet paper, wadded it on my finger, and cleaned up the bathroom. And then a counselor or a head leader came in, and she's like, good morning. And I'm like, good morning. I have to go to the ER or something. I just seriously just split open my thumb, and then I showed her as it was running underwater. It was gaping open. And then I go to the nurse, and this nurse had no degree at all. This nurse was just a volunteer. And so she sees my thumb and she's like, oh, she's like, this is bad. Because she was not a real nurse. And she's like, we'll just butterfly tape it. And she wrapped it with a whole bunch of gauze and a whole bunch of it was that thick around my thumb. And everyone was like,
thumbs up.
and everyone was like, oh my gosh, what happened to your thumb? And I'm like, I'm such an attention seeker. I was like, oh, I just almost died.
I totally thought it was a way cooler story.
And then she was like, okay, she's like, we could do stitches, but maybe I should just glue it. She did not know how to do stitches. Or at least I don't think. So she just shoved glue into my finger and held it together and then put a Band-Aid on it and called it a day. And guess what? It did not hold whatsoever. It popped open 4 times and I had to get it re-glued every time until there was another nurse who was a dude and he was a real nurse. And he was like, oh, this is awful. He's like, it's starting to get infected and everything. And he's like, now we need to wrap it and we need to clean it. And he's like, maybe we have to re-glue it again because the lady clearly did not know what she was doing.
Wow. Last time I went to a nurse, do you remember that time we were walking? Me and Angelina were walking. We were next to a friend who cannot walk straight.
Me. Wait, was it me?
No, it was me, a friend, Angelina, walking.
Wait, which friend?
It doesn't matter.
But now I want to know.
This said friend cannot walk straight. So she's walking. And she just starts leaning this way into me. And this way, and this way, and this way. And what do? I brush the bush next to me. Not a bush. It's a cactus. I brush. My hand goes all this. Covered in cactus needles. I freaked
Scarlet
out.
You were like...
I was like, hey, I have a bunch of cactus needles in my hand now. And they were like, oh my gosh, how'd that happen? I'm like, I don't know. And in my head, I'm like, you are what happened.
Yeah.
But then I go to the nurse, and then the nurse is like, it was one of my friends, actually. And she was like, oh, so anyone have tweezers? And I'm like, I don't know. And then we get tweezers, and she's like, yeah, some of them are really stuck in here. You just have to wait till your body rejects it. And I'm like, what do you mean?
She didn't have she was not a real nurse.
I stepped on a foot of glass, and my dad is like, there's no glass. I'm like, I can feel it. And then my body rejected, and the glass was out. But
I remember it rejected it at the movie theater.
Okay, any other camp stories?
Oh, girl, the list goes freaking on.
Well, before you do your giant whoa moment, that means Scarlett.
No, I wasn't about to go on that.
We have to share ours real quick.
Okay, go. Hurry up.
Me and Scarlett stayed at a camp. It was at a college.
It was at a college.
We had a dorm. We were together for a week, which we didn't fight. We didn't
fight. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Angelina is so much messier than I am.
I cleaned up after myself.
Wait,
but we gotta talk about what happened to us. So, you want to talk about our story with the boy?
Oh, yes. The story, I don't think you've heard this, has she?
She hasn't.
Awesome. So, basically how this works is you get to meet your group of people. It's like 15 to 20 people.
8 girls, 8 guys.
About 8 girls, 8 guys, and then your 2 leaders, okay? Sometimes more girls, sometimes more guys. You know. You meet your group, okay? We meet our group. We say hi to everyone. We get to know, I know some of the people in my group, right?
Yeah.
We know some of the people. We're vibing. We're chilling, Then there's a guy. 2 guys. Same name. Okay? Awesome. Okay? We C1, C2. Okay?
Yeah, we call him C1, C2.
Okay? And we're walking, and we're getting to know, and we sit down at dinner, and said guy sits over next to us.
C1.
Number 1.
If I
We
could
should start calling him 1 and
describe
2.
if I could describe him,
As a Shrek character, what Shrek character would he be?
Shrek.
Oh, jeez.
No, he
The main character.
No,
He had,
with hair.
he had
like,
blonde curly hair, like very curly.
he was a thrower.
He was
so
a
he was
thrower
a bit like a
in
thrower.
like football. So he was strong. He was strong. You could tell
He was
strong.
about like 5'11".
He definitely had the dad bod. Like
'Kay.
definitely had the dad
'Kay.
bod.
Shh. Okay, we meet this guy. He sits down with us.
He
and
just randomly sits
He
with
just
us.
and it's like, okay, fine. We're on day 1. We got to meet some of the people in our group. You know, we've met the girls. We got to start meeting some of the guys here, okay? We meet, we talk, we whatever. We do more things. We go to bed that night. That night we wake up and we start becoming way more friends. It's like there was a switch in the group and everyone went, I've known you my whole life, and everyone just said the most random, crazy things ever.
We had 2 guys that were in our group, and they were just like
The funniest people I've ever met.
They were hilarious.
Our group was hilarious, okay? So we meet said guy, and then we go, you know, and I'm like, Angelina, he really likes you. And she's like, no, he doesn't. And I'm like,
he likes her.
and I'm like, no. And I'm like, because he kept hanging out near the 2 of us in every photo and everything. And I'm like, maybe he's just being nice. Because I'm like, he hasn't actually done anything.
No.
But everyone else was like, no. All the girls were like, no, he totally likes Angelina. I'm like, that's
I was
what
like,
I'm
he
saying.
totally likes Scarlett.
And then Angelina gets up to go to the bathroom on Wednesday. And he
Wait, no, we have to start. So there was a video filmed of him that Scarlett filmed. Scarlett
Yes.
sent me the video, and he asked
do you
me,
have it?
hey, can you send me
Yes.
the video?
Can I see what he looks like?
Not yet.
Oh my gosh, wait, no, I have to see what he looks
I
like.
have a picture.
Okay,
Show me.
So we see this guy, okay, and he asks, he's like, hey, can one of you guys send me the video? And I said, yes. And then he was like, Angelina, can you send me the video? He specifically asked Angelina, okay? Get by your mic. Kind of looks like a poodle, honestly. Okay. Let me finish.
So he asked,
He goes, Angelina, can I get your number to send the video? And Angelina's like, yeah, sure.
I wasn't thinking. I
Pay
was just
attention
like,
to this detail. Pay attention to the detail. Blue's Clues here. Here's a clue with a little paw print over it. Okay, the fudge. So then on Wednesday, later that day, we're sitting down at a class thing, and Angelina. It goes me, Angelina, guy. Angelina gets up, go to the bathroom. I'm sitting.
are you gonna be him?
Hey, so I know I don't really have a shot, but like, do I even have even a little bit of a shot with her? And I sat there, and I go, nope. I said, no,
You said it more seriously.
I said, nope. And he was like, what? And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm like, she has a boyfriend. I'm like, you don't have any shot at all.
Oh, you set him straight, bro.
I did. And he goes, what? He was like, I thought you had a boyfriend. And I said, I don't have a boyfriend. No, wait, no, that's later. Never mind. I'm skipping details. He goes, oh. He was like, I had no idea. And then we talked about other stuff, right? Angelina gets back. Angelina
Dude,
goes,
the vibe was so off. I was like, it felt like crickets. Like I was walking into like a parent
I
argument.
tried.
and I asked, I'm like, why is the vibe
And
off?
I said nothing. I'm like, we were just talking about family and stuff. I'm like, nothing. Give me an hour and I'll tell you. So then we walk back to our dorms. We're all walking. Now these walks, I'm telling you, we walked over 8 miles a day.
Yeah,
I
it was
tracked
insane.
it on my Fitbit. We are walking. We have about half a mile to get to our dorms from where we're at. So we're walking. He doesn't hang out by Angelina anymore.
I was kind of sad. I was like, my buddy normally like I'm talking to.
He's directly next to me. Ooh. He goes, so do you both have
She's so invested.
He goes, so do you both have boyfriends? And I said, no. I said, just Angelina. I said, I don't have a boyfriend. He goes, what? And I was like, yeah, I never told you. I'm not lying to you. I never said I had a boyfriend. He's like, no, you have a boyfriend. I said, no. Buddy, we speak English, okay? And he was like, I could have sworn Angelina was single and you had a boyfriend. I said, no. And he was like, so then I totally would have asked for your number. And I said, excuse me.
He's switching sides.
He was like, I would have asked for your number. And I said, huh?
Dude, your calves are so ripped. I'm sorry. Like, they're just like, I'm just keep seeing them pop out. And I'm like, oh, dear gosh.
I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, for the video. Blue's Clues earlier when he was like, Angelina, can you send me the video? I was like, what? And he was like, no, yeah. He was like, I totally would have done that. And then there was like this other guy I danced with. And he was like, so are you going to get that guy's number? And I'm like, probably not. And he was like, oh, interesting. And then we were walking more back. And Angelina goes, Scarlett, blondes or brunettes? And I said, brunettes, 100%. And he's blonde. And he goes, dang it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then the next morning I asked him. And I was like, he was leaving that day. Completely awkward. He quit being friends. He didn't want anything to do with us anymore. He was solely there to get our numbers. And I sit down, and he sits down next to me, and he's silent. And I said, hey, weird question. And I was like, weird question, because I don't care. I'm gonna ask you. And I said, why did you think I had a boyfriend and Angelina didn't? We're at breakfast. The first thing I've ever said to him all day.
But you said, oh, I didn't know this part.
Yes. And he was like, well, I don't really know. I just assumed because, Angelina just talked to me more. And I'm like, no, you sick liar. I'm like, what's the real reason? And he was like, that was the reason. I just wanted to hope. And I was like, awesome. And that was the story of the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so one thing that's crazy.
Okay, a guy that I can't say that.
That was our
such looks. Such games should not be played. Because oh my.
Yeah.
So well, I have a few more stories. So specifically about the staff, because
remember blonde girl.
No.
Oh.
First, that one's gonna be the last part I mentioned. So this staff, I think, hates everybody. Anyone who is a somewhat of a kid, this staff hates. They were the rudest, most awful staff I've ever encountered in my entire life. First off, the food. They were trying to food poison us 100%. It was like you were eating lard, and it's like they took it from a dumpster and they just like here. It was so bad that one of the head counselors decided to tell the chef not to cook or something, and she made the food. Best meal of the week. It was chicken parm, and it was homemade.
Ooh,
and it was
amazing.
freaking delicious. Every other food, kids were getting food poisoning left and right. I mean, people were vomiting everywhere. It was awful. Also, the staff was really mean. Like, anything that you said, like, for instance, there was a lady, and she had a spray bottle with her. And if a child interrupted or did something, she would spray them and go, no, 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 no. I am so dead serious. I got sprayed in the face.
Dude, if someone did, I would grab it from
me in
her.
the face. I think I would lose my
This is why
mind.
you can't have me be a leader, because I'll stick up for my kids, and if you disrespect me
I think
in
I
front of
would
my
have
kids,
Her. I was flabbergasted, not gonna lie.
yeah, if I watched that lady do that to you, I would literally
I'd
break
take
the
the
water
bottle-
bottle in front of her.
Well,
and
the
not do
kids
anything.
I take
kids
the
like
bottle of
liked
water.
it. I was judging her hard because I got mad when she sprayed me.
I take the bottle of water, I dump it on her head, and I said melt. And I'd be like, which melt?
Dude, she
No, witch.
No,
Burn.
because and then she would make all the kids do the physical labor. And so one of the things is that the kids liked it because it was really hot outside, so they were fine with it. But it was like she just hated everyone who was under 18. So like the 18-year-old who was my partner, she wouldn't spray, and then she asked me, she's like, so how old are you? And I'm like, well, my birthday's tomorrow, so I'm gonna be 16
Happy
tomorrow.
early birthday!
And I expect a gift from you.
Yeah,
Anyways, and so I'm like, okay, well, at that moment I was 15, so I was like, I'm 15. And then she just sprayed me in the face, and she's just like, you're not an adult. And I wanted to literally break her glasses. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to revoke her vision. There was a lot of things that.
You.
Speaking of the staff, do you remember when I told y'all the little blonde girl? Well, there was another staff member.
Little clue.
He looked like if the rat from Ratatouille and Benson Boone had a baby. I am being so dead serious. That's exactly what it looked like. And I had to do this stupid meeting at 11:30 at night, and I was really confused because everyone, all of the leaders in the cabin were like, hey, we need to shut down that conversation that's going around. And we were all like, what conversation? And she's like, well, two of us, so people who are my age, girls, little leaders, walked into the bathroom, the girls' bathroom, and two staff members were doing a little more than just kissing.
Oh,
When I say a little, I mean a lot more than just kissing. And they were traumatized.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh, that's awful.
The dirty looks that we sprayed at those two staff members for the rest of the camp was insane.
at a camp.
Because imagine
At
if
a
it was
church
the kids.
camp.
Imagine if it was the staff members were not church. There was like only two, I think, who were like really churchy. The other ones, they did not care. And so that was something real interesting to see. Do not recommend. Imagine if kids walked in there. That would have been
my
so
God.
bad.
Dude,
Yeah, it was better that it was a leader than the kids.
that's
wild.
actually insane.
Yeah. Do you have any other stories?
Man, do we have any other stories? Oh, there was this. Okay, I became okay on on Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, my worst night's sleep I've ever gotten in my life that night.
Wait, why?
You want to know why? It's because we were on the first floor. The very right above us, there were people like wrestling. I'm serious. They were like running and slapping each other. It was so loud above us. Turns out, I went to Instagram. I saw the video. There were two guys who strapped water bottles to rope. Like two guys. One had a water bottle, plastic water bottle with rope on the end, and the other one did, and they started hitting each other with nunchucks over that. At 10 o'clock at night, I saw the video. I was beyond.
That's the noise?
Yes.
That was the noise?
What
Yes,
did you think
them,
it was?
And they were running up and down the halls.
I didn't know. She never told me this until
Yes,
now.
they were like, I could hear like people like fighting, and they were like, go, go, and like cheering on different people at 1 o'clock.
Go!
At
That's
1
so
o'clock
stupid.
in the morning.
That's so
Well,
awful.
guys, thank you so much for hearing our camp stories. Guys, we are going to be at VidCon as a collective creator there. And, guys, we have a fan booth, and we want to meet you guys. So, you
Make
guys
sure to
be
show
there.
up and be there because we will be there at VidCon, and we will sign anything you want to sign, take all the pictures, all the everything over at VidCon. Yep.
So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Next week's video is going to be amazing. We're talking about summer trends, so you guys want to see that one.
And later be the boda butt.
Stay tuned for all that. We'll see
Okay.
you on our next video.
Bye, guys.
He's a senior.
But you're a freshman.
Oh, wait, there she is.
Guess who?
Guess who's going to VidCon? We're going to have our very own booth Friday, June 26th at 11 a.m. Do not forget to stop by.
Yes, and we're going to have cool merch and photos and sign autographs.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be there, which makes it even more cool.
Yes, don't forget to see us and stop by.
Bye, guys.